Strive for your sustenance, but don't be covetous. The Lord of the worlds provides for the worm in the ground. There is not a moving, living creature on earth, nor a bird that flies with its 2 wings, but are communities like you. Allah provides for the birds in the sky and for the fish in the sea, and it is He who feeds, but is not fed. You are worthier than a worm, bird, or fish, so don't worry about sustenance. I have known people who were stricken by poverty simply because of their distance from Allah. Some of them were rich and healthy, but instead of being thankful, they turned away from obedience to Allah. They abandoned prayer and they perpetrated major sins. Allah took away from them their health and their wealth, replacing these with poverty, sickness, and anxiety. They were then afflicted with hardship upon hardship, calamity upon calamity. But whosoever turns away from my reminder, verily for him is a life of hardship. That is so because Allah will never change a grace which He has bestowed on a people until they change what is in their own selves. And whatever of misfortune befalls you, it is because of what your hands have earned, and He pardons much. If they, non-Muslims, had believed in Allah and went on the right way, that is Islam, we would surely have bestowed on them water, rain in abundance. The secret of guidance. The contentment and happiness are blessings that are given only to those who follow the straight path. Muhammad left us upon one end of his path, and at the other end of it are the gardens of paradise. And indeed we should then have guided them to a straight way. By happiness we mean this: when one adheres to the straight path, though he may be afflicted with hardships along the way, he is confident of a happy ending and a future abode in paradise. As a result, he will follow the Prophet, who spoke not from his own desires, who was immune to the whisperings of the devil, and whose sayings are a proof upon mankind. For each person there are angels in succession. Therefore, and behind him, they guard him by the command of Allah. One can sense the joy of a righteous person by his mannerisms, and by his threading the straight line. He knows that he has a Lord, and that he has a role model in the Messenger. He has the book of Allah in his hand, illumination in his heart, and a conscience that prompts him to do well. He is advancing to a greater state of bliss, and is always striving for betterment. This is the guidance of Allah with which He guides whoever He will of His slaves. There are 2 paths, one that is figurative, and the other that has a physical reality. The first path is that of faith, which one treads in this transient life, a life that is fraught with temptations and desires. The second path is in the hereafter. Every person will have to go across that second path in order to reach paradise. Anyone who fails will plunge into the fire. This path or bridge is teeming with spikes. Whoever is guided to the path of faith and belief in this life will safely cross the path of the hereafter. The speed at which he crosses will be proportional to the level of his faith. And know that if one is blessed with being guided to the straight path, his worries and anxieties will quickly vanish.